Sometimes you can only do your best and hope for the best in some situations. Um, when I woke up this morning, about like 20 minutes after I woke up, I got a phone call from my dad, and he let me know that my rabbit was dead. Um, it sucks. Um, you know, like Peaches was like, you know, my ex's it was her present on Easter. You know, Peaches was probably no more than 2 years old, and I don't know. She had a weird life. She was like probably for the first year, maybe half a year when we after I bought her, she was an indoor rabbit because my ex never wanted her to go outside because she thought it was dangerous and stuff. And um, then we let her outside finally, and we had this really nice cage, and she had a lot of fun with our other rabbits, and then only recently, like I guess last week, my mom started to notice something different about her. Like she was gathering hay and um, taking it under her cage, and I guess making a nest. So my mom thought, oh, she must be pregnant, which is weird because we only have two girl rabbits. And then by the end of last week, she started to act strange, like not how she usually acts, like running around the cage all happy and stuff. Um, she was underneath this bridge part that goes up into this, we call it the doomsday cage, but it's it's this massive cage, and she was just, kind of like huddled underneath it. She looked kind of, she didn't look like herself. So my mom noticed that, and I had noticed it, and I was able to actually pet her, and I was like, oh, there's something not right. And then we had to leave to go to Ashland over the weekend, so we weren't able to do anything for Peaches. So sometimes when you think about death, there's like some regret, like, oh, I wonder if only I did this, I could have, helped her or helped him survive, and he'd still be alive today. And most of our rabbits that we've had who have died of natural causes and not of, you know, like they usually don't live to be really old, and they die because they get sick for some reason. They my dad said in the phone call today, it's like every time I've seen one of the rabbits, have diarrhea or something, they end up, not lasting very long. Like they're probably gonna die. And I probably should have seen it coming, and I probably could have just said no, I can't go to Ashland because I want to take Peaches in to see what's wrong with her. But you never know if you can actually prevent the inevitable. This all reminds me of this story I read in English recently. It's, I think it's a legend of some sort from Africa or something. But the title of the story is "Death Has an Appointment in Samara." One day in Baghdad, a man, a student of Sufi, was sitting in the corner of an inn when he happened to hear two people talking. From their conversation, the man realized that one of the figures was the angel of death. For the next few weeks, Death told his companion, "I'm gathering people in Baghdad." As he said this, Death looked over at the man in the corner. Terrified, the man fled from the tavern and tried to plan some way to escape death. He decided that the best course was to leave Baghdad at once and travel as far away as possible. He hired a fast horse and rode to the town of Samara. Meanwhile, Death met the man's teacher, who was an old friend. As they talked about various acquaintances, Death asked the Sufi master about his student. "Where is your disciple?" Death asked. The teacher answered, "He is in Baghdad, busy with his studies." "Why do you ask?" "I was surprised to see him here," Death responded. "I have an appointment to take him next week, but it is over in Samara." Now the irony of that, of the guy trying to escape death, it ends up making this, it hits you at the very end. You feel like you think it might be a little funny that this guy saw death and tried to run from it, but the moral of the story is you can't escape death. And I've talked about this in some of my other videos and stuff, and it's like you can only really make the best of what time you have. And I always try to do my best. Now with Peaches, I really think she had a great life. Unfortunately, it was a very short life. I wish it would have been longer. Had I taken her into the doctor's last week and totally canceled our trip to Ashland, would she still be alive today? Probably. Probably not. Like the story says, you can't escape death. But could I have prolonged her life? Maybe. And since this is another loss in my life, I don't know if you guys watched the video on loss of mine, where our cat Putty died. It was a sad process too. My mom still is in pain from that because it was her cat. I'm probably gonna hurt today over Peaches because I don't know. She was like the my baby in a sense because she was like the kid in the divorce, and I ended up taking care of her after my girlfriend and we broke up. But all we can really do as human beings in order to get past this pain is to, probably get all the emotions out on the first day and feel remorse, regret, and sadness and mourning for the person or whatever who you've lost, and then the next day think of who they were or what they were. Um, Peaches was a great rabbit. She loved the outdoors, and I couldn't have asked for a better rabbit. So I'm sorry, guys, that today's vlog is sad. Um, I guess it's just a part of life. You gotta deal with sadness, and unfortunately, it sucks. But like I've said before, I don't want my entire channel to be on sadness, but sometimes it's gonna happen. So, I hope you can bear with me, and I don't know, enjoy life and stuff. I just want to point out that, my videos will mostly be happy, and life will go on. I'm gonna end today's vlog with a slideshow of Peaches, of pictures that I've taken over her couple years of life. So here we go.
Being a fool, being a clown, lost my way from up and down. And I know, yes I know. And I see in your eyes that you really weren't surprised at me at all, not at all. And I know by your smile it's you. Don't care for me, don't cry, let's say goodbye, adieu. It's time to say goodbye, I know that in time it will just fade away. It's time to say goodbye.